Hey class, it's Mr. Parrish. Happy Tuesday to you. Want to welcome you back here. And today, what we're going to be doing is kind of like yesterday. Yesterday, instead of giving you a video, I did the notes basically right here in Schoology for you. And one thing I neglected to tell you yesterday is that you can actually click on the documents in the folder, um, just like just like where you're seeing this particular video. You can click in the folder and you will be able to see all the documents that I'm referring to. So this, what we're going to look at today here, is the Magna Carta, which is our subject for today. But you have access to this document as well. So I'm going to go through the slides on this presentation, and I'd like you to take notes on them. So you may want to stop and pause from time to time as we go through here. And then at the end of this, I have a short discussion question for you. This will probably be less than 10 minutes, just like yesterday. So let's begin with the Magna Carta. All right. So the Magna Carta is one of the most important documents in the history of democracy. Okay. So it is an English document, and it was signed in the 13th century. And the Magna Carta is an English legal document that spells out certain rights for both kings and his subjects. It was created in 1510, and the most important part of this is this idea right here. No one is above the law, which means the king is basically subject to the laws, so the king can't break the laws, okay? So that's what's one of the most important parts about the Magna Carta, is this whole line here. No one is above the law. By the way, Magna Carta in Latin means great charter, okay? Why was the Magna Carta created? So the Magna Carta was created to curb the power of the English monarch, okay? So King John, who was the King of England at the time, that's much better, who was the King of England at the time of the signing of the Magna Carta, was a very powerful monarch, but he wasn't a very well-liked monarch. He didn't treat his people very well. He didn't rule with great authority. He had a lot of power, but not a lot of authority, so there's a little bit of a difference there. The nobles, the people beneath King John, were kind of pressed with what should we do, and he was constantly using their troops to fight these civil wars with other powerful nobles that were not beneath him. So the English nobles confronted King John and forced him to sign the Magna Carta, and they used threats of civil war, basically threatening to rebel if they did not sign it. So it was created in 1215, and it was signed by King John, and the nobles forced him to sign it. And here's a little rendition here of King John looking it over. By the way, King John is the same King John. If you've ever seen any of the iterations of like Robin Hood, the Disney version or any of the other versions, the bad guy is Prince John. That's King John right here, okay? Here's some information on King John. He ruled England for almost 2 decades and was well known as a heavy-handed ruler. Heavy-handed means he ruled without kind of regard to the people that lived there. All right, he didn't worry about what they thought about it. He just kind of did what he thought was best, regardless of what it was going to do to the people. He would often wage unnecessary wars and burden his subjects with heavy taxes to pay for them. He also earned the hatred of nobles in court by seducing their wives and daughters. Anyone who spoke out against him was imprisoned or executed. So, kind of some bad stuff there, King John. Probably not good that you did that. King John here meeting with his nobles to sign one of his many military campaigns. Not a whole lot of historical significance here. Notice that King John wears this cross here. He was basically the leader of the church in England while he was king. King John begrudgingly signed the Magna Carta because he needed the barons to fight his wars and collect taxes. The signing of the document did not prevent civil war, but it did establish the world's first written constitution. Super important point there. It established the world's first written constitution. This is the place where the Magna Carta was signed in Runnymede, England. This memorial marks the spot where King John supposedly signed the Magna Carta into law. And here's one of the most important slides on here, and it's the last slide. It is, what rights were guaranteed under the Magna Carta? Okay, it had 63 total clauses, but some of the most important parts of this. One is called the rule of law. This is what restricted the government. So the government can only do this, okay? We have a similar type of stuff in our government where we have restricted the government to only do certain things. They don't do everything. They only do what we tell it to do. The second part is fairness of law. This is respect for traditions, and property ownership. This is basically the idea that people can live their lives and the government can't intervene, all right? Due process of law, the establishments of courts and legal practices. And then finally, respect for economic rights, okay? Freedom to conduct business. So these four themes really kind of are the backbone of the Magna Carta, and it all comes back to that early statement that says, no one is above the law. Oh, by the way, I skipped this part here where it says, is Latin for great charter or great paper. Anyway, but yeah, that's kind of the theme there. No one is above the law. Okay, so in addition to this, what I want you to do is fill out this discussion. This discussion says, how does the Magna Carta affect the United States government? There were several examples in the video. Just list one. That is for points. I'd like you to do that, and have a great day.